Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hey.
This is Cac.
And this is Boz. And welcome to the
Cac and Balls podcast.
Woo! We got a special guest. You want to... Yeah.
I didn't agree to that.
Okay. Jump off a bit. What?
I didn't know that's where you started. My name's Rowland. Rowland Stevens. You can find me at my Snapchat at Rowland Thunder. Yeah. And I'm here. You know, yeah. I'm here. I'm happy to be here.
What do you do, Rowland?
I'm a history major. I work.
Can we just call you a historian?
Historian, comedian. I'm a man of many things. I'm a man of many arts.
Yeah. Okay. So I had a list. I need to bring it up.
Oh, this man came prepared.
I came so prepared.
Oh yeah, because we have a tripod and everything. It's not like we're making our camera woman hold the camera this time.
What camera woman? I don't see her.
What woman?
What woman?
What do you call a woman?
That's pretty obvious. Don't you think?
I thought we didn't need those people.
Thought we just asexually reproduce.
I thought when I was 25, I'd just pop out another version of me.
Don't you?
Slightly different.
Don't you remember ever coming out of your dad, just plopping on the ground,
just
and picking you up and be like, "You're a man now, son." And then within the next 3 months, you grew limbs and you could walk, and you had a 9-to-5 job.
And then you pop one out. And
too bad Ben's too much of a freaking hippie to get a job.
Yeah, get a job.
I got a job next semester though.
Where at?
He was athletics department.
He's probably gonna get fired in a week again.
Okay, I'm really hurt because you misspelled my name. Okay, mind you, you can't see this, but you spell my name Rowland. It's like you're rowing to land. But of course, Ben over here. We'll leave that out.
The Polish way.
It's not like I've known this man for almost a semester. Actually, no, more than a year now.
Yeah, more than a year now. We just haven't talked that much this semester.
There's a reason for that because you can't get my name right. Okay, but you want us to start out with high school stories.
High school story.
That's a good way to start out because like our last guest Kieran, he did a good job with that. So
high school stories, man. I went to a small town high school, man. It was awful. Like hillbilly, like rednecks, like lift trucks. I don't know. I really blocked out high school.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I went to a pretty trash high school too.
I mean, my senior year, one of our football coaches. This is really weird, and it's I'm not gonna name names for reasons, obviously, but he had an affair with one of our one of the senior girls, and it was like this really big deal when it came to fruition. Because they would always talk to each other. They were always, flirty, but, you're like, Coach so-and-so, he wouldn't really, like, go out with a high school senior girl.
Yeah.
Coach so-and-so really did go out with a high school senior girl. It was a really weird, because that's the stuff you hear about and you never think would happen. And then the school did a really good job keeping it quiet. So shout out to Grand Saline High School, home of the Fighting Indians. Bow and arrow. But Ben actually went to high school with Samaje Perine.
Yeah, I went. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a running back for the Washington Redskins. For you football people out there.
Yeah, he's doing really good now.
I mean, as good as you can be on the Redskins. Am I right, boys?
I'm not a football guy.
I didn't think anybody here was a football guy.
Fuck the Cowboys.
Easy.
Wait, I didn't even put that.
You have as much right to criticize the Cowboys as Deshaun Watson has the right to walk now.
Well, to be fair, Ben likes the Texans.
What was it?
Ben likes the Texans.
Yeah, and that's his mistake. See, that's his first mistake right there.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. I was like, I'm not even a football guy, but I can tell you. You shouldn't be a Texan guy.
Hey, we did really good the first half of the season.
Yeah, when you had a quarterback and a defensive end.
And everything, basically. The only one we have now is the
two actual knees of your program, Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt. Just blow their knees. And, And
it was supposed to be the season that's dedicated to Houston. And it's just...
The Astros already won the World Series. They don't need anything else.
Oh, we'll win the Super Bowl next year. Okay, bold prediction right here.
That's the funniest thing you'll say tonight here, man.
What if it comes true? No, we have to make a podcast if it does come true.
Like an NFL podcast. I would be surprisingly down for that.
Like a live stream?
a live stream podcast about NFL. We could do that.
Hey, we could.
I'll figure that out. That'd be cool. Let's just do a talk show. I mean, like an actual, like one of those talk shows they do in ESPN.
Like a commentary kind of thing?
Yeah, where we just talk about sports stuff.
Okay.
Be another one of those thousands of people who do that already.
Hey, I mean, we're doing a friggin' podcast.
Yeah, I like how we are doing a podcast, and this is actually my first one, so a little rusty. Not supposed to be right the first time.
A little.
A little rusty. A little rusty considering I've never done this before. But high school stories. What do you have anything wild from high school?
I told the story last time. Was it in the podcast? I don't think it was.
I think it got cut out.
Okay, so let's tell it again. So, speech and debate at my high school. They're very strict about things. They had a tournament at the high school. What?
I could just imagine there's just like a really strict debate team where it's like, you got to be prim and proper and button up dresses.
No, I mean, they're basically like that. Yeah.
Like that.
And so my mom couldn't pick me up right after school. She picked me up at 7 p.m., which is really late. But I mean, I can stay at school till then. I mean, no problem. Right. And so I was just staying there. I had a bunch of film equipment because I was gonna bring that home. We're gonna make a film during the weekend. And speech and debate had a tournament going on.
Mm-hmm.
So they were going around the hallways, the class sponsor person, and then she saw me just sitting in a corner away from everyone. Mind you, just away from everyone. Just minding my own business, watching YouTube videos on my phone. All right? She goes up to me and is like, "Excuse me, sir. Not supposed to be out here, I'm in a tournament." And I look at her, I'm like, my parents pay taxes to this.
You can't kick me out. I say when I leave.
This is a public property. That's what I told her. I'm like, I'm not going to go because my mom can't pick me up. And it's raining outside, by the way. It's thunderstorming and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
so I'm staying here. And she's like, no. And she goes back and then she gets someone. That person, guess what? It's this guy. He's not taller than me. But he's like, maybe 6 feet. He's an off-duty officer. So he goes up to me. He's like, "Excuse me, you need to leave the premises." And I'm like, "No." And then...
really showing you right there, Ben.
And he's like, "Excuse me, sir." And he puts out his badge. And I'm like, "No." And I go on this whole thing. I'm like, first off, my parents pay taxes to the school. Second, they also pay taxes that goes to your wallet.
This bitch actually said this to an officer.
He was off duty, okay? So,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. You're like, my parents pay for your freaking paycheck.
And as it did all, this is public property. I can be on here. It's just true. And so he got really mad. But then he couldn't do anything, so he went to go get a vice principal. The vice principal comes on and is like, "Okay, you have to come with me to the office." And so they're like, "Yeah, ha, get back." Well, as the faces were shown, they're like, "Ha ha, we were right." When I get to the vice principal office, she's like, "Yeah, I can't kick you off. You're like completely right. They can't do anything about you. So you just chill here in the office until your parents pick you up."
And then she closed the door and proceeded to molest Ben.
That was the real high school controversy of Ben's high school. Off-duty police officer walks in on him. It's like, I don't know, she just grabbed me.
Please, oh my crimes.
We shouldn't joke about that.
Today's comment.
Another weird high school story I have is my junior year I won our high school drag show.
Oh.
Yeah,
nice.
I was
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah, you saw pictures of that.
Yeah. Because you didn't show it to the LC. It was like one of your memories thing. And you like showed
it showed up and I shared it. Yeah, I won by 1 point.
1 point.
A literal point. And my talent was dancing a song and dance number 2, "California Girls" by Katy Perry. And I walked through. So we had these curtains at the start of the song. Like, "Greetings, loved ones, let's have a journey." And then when Katy Perry goes, I catwalked out of the curtains on all fours. and like people were screaming and I couldn't hear it. And I was like really devoted to winning that because, if you know me, I'm a competitor and I'm not gonna, if there's a shot for me to win, I'm gonna go all out.
Yeah.
And I almost lost to a guy who did a wrecking ball thing. And his girlfriend, he got on this actual wrecking ball thing. It was like an exercise ball painted gray. His girlfriend went to pull him, and he fell off. He like totally hit the back of his head. But he got up and he handled it like a champ. And I won barely. And that was the day my great uncle died, and I couldn't go to his funeral because I was winning a Miss Tomahawk pageant, as we called it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this.
Yeah, like I didn't expect the dark twist there.
Like,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
like it was really crappy because like I already bought like the costume to wear to the pageant, and so like it was really like weird to tell my family members like, hey, I can't go to Uncle Joe's funeral. I have a drag show to win. So that's how that played out. It was a lot of fun. Okay. I have a little trophy and a little crown back home.
I'm sure your uncle is smiling from above.
You know, he actually, funny story, like he actually was in one and he actually won too. So that was me honoring my uncle in a weird sort of way. He was in the Navy for 18 years. You know, that does to lots of people. You've heard the joke about the Navy, right?
Yeah. There's a song on it too, right?
Is it really?
Yeah, it was like the same people from like YMCA when they did YMCA.
The Village People?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Of course
the Navy.
Of course the Village People would make a song about the Navy.
I think it is like in the Navy.
Were they all gay too?
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Huh.
So they call it Village.
Is that what they call gay people? I don't know.
Back then, maybe.
I just call them Kevin Spacey. George Takei.
Hey! Now that's not accurate.
George Takei. Oh my God, that was such a twist.
That whole George Takei thing died down really fast. They were like, George Takei sexually assaulted me, and George Takei was like, I can simply say that's not true. And then everyone was like,
no, and then he goes on the Howard Stern show, and he's like,
they did it like a week ago. Before that,
I can't confirm that I didn't do it.
yeah, actually, he was like,
so he pretty much pulled the Kevin Spacey thing. Was like, maybe I didn't. I don't remember. You see, all those were bad, but what really hurt me was Louis C.K. I liked Louis, I liked the TV show, but you can't do.
You can't just start back.
You can't do stuff that. I do like the idea of just they do it and then they're like, Louis, no, and he's like, I have a problem, and he just walks out. but it's really disturbing. We're really joking about. But anyway, another thing too is I know Ben is. I don't know about you, Car. Ben and I are big Pokemon fans, and the new Pokemon game came out. It's a lot of fun.
I haven't played it.
I haven't like watched Pokemon or played Pokemon in a long time, so don't even ask.
Where'd you leave off?
I have no idea. I was probably like 9 or 10 years old when I started.
So I'm guessing that might be like when the Misty Dungeon games is coming out. So probably Fire Red.
See, I never owned anything. I only played from friends.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. That's Pokemon's not really a game you play from friends. It's just a you game.
Yeah. I used to like borrow my friends when I had my little DS Lite. I used to borrow the cartridges and stuff and just play it.
Well, like
I always wanted like open world, this MMO Pokemon style game, every region.
I really don't. I'm gonna say this now. I think that will never happen.
Yeah.
But we could still hope. But recently. The new Pokemon movie came out, Pokemon I Choose You. And they introduced this character called Incineroar. Incineroar's awesome, he's like this, he's a dark fire, like big cat guy, and he's really cool. And he has like a championship belt like a wrestler that shoots. But Incineroar has this exclusive move that only Incineroar can learn, and it's really brutal. And it's called Throat Chop. And it's as brutal as it is. It's a chop through the throat. But when doing it does have a side effect. In doing Throat Chop, if a Pokemon has like a vocal move like Hyper Voice, sing anything, it it can't do that anymore.
Oh wow, really?
So
That's awesome, actually.
No, it's so brutal because basically it hits you and you're like.
I forgot what the Pokemon name was. It's been a long time, but in Generation 3, in like the Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald, like
Explode, Loudred, yeah.
That would annoy me so much because then my Pokemon would get confused. I'm just like,
I think there's another like Screech, anything like that. It can't do it. Because it's just vocal cords are crushed by Throat Chop.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah, it's
especially
really
for like the tournament.
Yeah, and it's really brutal. So in the new movie, they have Incineroar, and it does throat chop, and they visualized it just as brutal as you think it would. Like, okay, like minor spoilers. Ash's Charmeleon is fighting this guy's Incineroar. And he's like, Incineroar, use throat chop. And he does, and he picks up like Charmeleon by the throat and throws him. And there's like this brick wall, and Charmeleon's head hits against it. And I was like, damn. It was really brutal. Jeez. And then like he was like, Charmeleon, use flamethrower. And Charmeleon couldn't like produce flames because his throat was just
damn.
And like he just finished him off right there. And I was like, wow. Like that's honestly like the most like I'm glad they took an incredibly brutal move and made it just visually brutal. It made me really like
proud. Just
I was like, I wonder how the anime is really gonna dumb this down. And I thought it was like gonna be like, throat chop. And he's like, oh no, and it's not
like just one of those adults trying to
like it's like a little beam or something. Yeah. And like hits him in the throat, and he's like, oh. He's like, you can't use sound moves, but no, it is full on hit to the neck. Just it was horrible, and like that movie was really, it was fine.
One of the end. You know,
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
I've seen it, yeah.
Okay, so we can't talk about the end. Ash like took like 5 hyper beams, and he died. He straight up died, and he just disappeared in like little like I don't know. Like normally, if we were to get hit by like a hyper beam or like a dark pulse, we would like just be like a bloody puddle on the ground.
With steam going on because it's my hyper beam.
There's like a rotten skeleton, like a skeleton like melting off. But like the anime was like, oh no, little pixie dust sparkles, and I was like, well, I mean, I guess. Like,
I mean, it does look, it's just like a rainbow.
Like
I mean,
at that point, you would think, you know, because Team Rocket's taken like 90,000 like thunderbolts, that they would also just one day fucking like just. It's like honestly, that was honestly like a really like it hit you really hard at points. There's a scene where Electro dies. Spoiler alert, obviously.
The scene where everyone dies.
I mean, this movie's been out a month. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. That's my excuse for when I let spoilers slip.
I haven't kept up with Pokemon in so
you need
long.
to.
So.
Go.
You really do it. Well, then again, that's like kind of saying like, that's kind of starting you halfway through a marathon and saying, "Hey, catch up."
Yeah.
Like it's not easy. You have to really stay on top of it.
Yeah. Just go to Cerebi.net. That's like.
Oh yeah, Bulbapedia.
That too, yeah.
Bulbapedia, and you just sit there and you just read up on it. Which is like the lame way of catching up. I
spend like 6 hours of a day.
6 hours. He's like, oh boy. Like at the end of the day, you sit down in your chair, you lean back, and you pull up Bulbapedia.
We should make that into like a short. So it looks like the dude's about to like jerk it or something. He like he gets like tissues ready. He has a lotion ready and everything. He like pulls out his tissues and like he just blows his nose and he's like pulls up Bulbapedia and he's like. And he like starts crying, uses the tissues.
He watches some of the Pokemon anime. He's like, and like the boring dialogue. He's like, oh, I gotta skip to the good stuff. He's gotta skip to the Pokemon battles.
Because I didn't play Black and White and Black and White 2 and X and Y. Okay. I skipped those 3 games because I didn't.
I skipped Black and White because that was my. I'm too good for Pokemon. Like, look at me. I'm in high school and I don't need to play Pokemon.
I didn't have any money to get new games, so I was just like.
And then, so when X and 2, like when Black 2 and White 2 came out, I was like, I want it hurt me to beat the game.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked back. And X and Y is really forgettable in my opinion.
A lot of people are saying that online.
The villain was dumb. I can't really explain it because Pokemon now has like this really over-complicated anime plot. We're like, you know, with Team Rocket, they were like, oh, we're just gonna steal Pokemon, and then like Team Alpha and like, not Team Alpha, Team Alpha and Team Magma were like, no, Team Aqua, Team Aqua and Team Magma were like, oh, we're gonna turn the world in the water and the ground, and then X and Y is like, we live in an imperfect world where all humanity and Pokemon must be destroyed for reasons I don't know, and so like the main guy builds this laser that's meant to destroy the world, right? And he's talking about like. Because the Mega Stone is introduced where you can Mega Evolve. And he's like, well, people will always fight over resources. And then later in the game, he uses a Mega Stone. So he's not only that, he's being a hypocrite. Because he's like, he's using that resource that he said everyone fights over. And then when you beat him, like the cannon's destroyed, but not really. So he gets in the cannon, and he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna destroy most of the world." And the laser shoots up, and it comes back down. That's killing him. Like, and like all the time, you're just sitting here like going, "There's no need for that. Like, there's no need for you to be like this overly complicated with Pokemon. It's not that hard." But I can't say any different. So.
I mean, I haven't like kept up with anything obviously, but I think they had to like go away from the simplicity because like that generation was starting to grow older and they wanted something different.
Yeah, because that's when that was the first game for the 3DS, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so I think that's why they decided to do that.
But at the same time, like I feel like I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no.
I feel like if you chock things full of dialogue that doesn't make for a better story, that doesn't make for a longer game. So and then Pokemon's the idea of like if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
So when Sun and Moon came out, you and I have played Sun and Moon. So they changed it up. They changed the status quo, and it was good. It was interesting.
Yeah.
It made a new thing an old thing new again. And it was really cool. But at the same time, you want to play the game, and Pokemon should never really be a completely story-heavy game. That's not Assassin's Creed. I think
that's why I love the third generation, like
Ruby,
Emerald, and especially with Emerald.
Oh yeah.
It was enough story, but it wasn't too much.
Right, I agree.
It was just right.
It wasn't like forcing you to play. I don't know.
It was taking you along the journey of the story, but I mean, it wasn't like.
Yeah, because like you shouldn't have to sit through like because with like Assassin's Creed or any other game where it has a good cutscene.
Yeah.
You can watch it and enjoy it, but with Pokemon you have to sit there and press the A button and keep pressing the A button because that's just how the dialogue works.
Yeah,
and you can't sit and watch and just be like relax. You just have to keep pressing.
I don't understand why they don't implement that. Like cutscenes and stuff.
Because
I understand like that takes away from the style or whatever, but
I think honestly
they started in Emerald. They started doing the cutscene in Emerald.
Yeah, and they started in even the new ones, but like it's like never longer than like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, that Pokemon's flying around. Like that's essentially what it is. Yeah. And I think my theory to that is like little kids that play.
Yeah.
They can't keep up with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you can choose to advance the story on your pace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a little kid can read it.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And it helps with reading
skills.
skills.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
That's what helped me a lot when I was younger, was reading just the dialogue and
see, like you and I, like the college students, the college Pokemon fans, we can complain about that because
we don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have to, but like if you're a parent, a little kid, they're learning to read, they're learning words, and that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that you can have that happy medium in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Also, Ben, are you still a history major here?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because I messaged you, I'm taking Napoleonic Wars next semester.
Oh, you told me that. I'm taking women's history.
Yeah.
So I have this. So
damn, like a whole semester of that.
Okay, so my thing. I'm pretty sure it's the first class, and you learn everything you need to know. But, our camera woman's giving me a really, really rude gesture right now. You're doing a great job over there. I'm surprised your weak, feeble woman arms haven't been way down. But my fear though is I'm gonna walk in and I'm gonna be the only guy, and it's gonna look really bad on me to be the only guy in that class.
Or have the opposite effect. Sorry to interrupt.
Or yeah, if it's just like guys.
Oh. Yeah.
Everyone's like, huh? Like they're all just like really weird looking dudes. It's like, where'd the girl?
I was like, I thought there would be girls here. Where are the girls? And like the professor's actually like a guy, and he's like, oh, welcome to women's history. Like a 6-year-old like staunch He just walks in a room full of guys.
He's like, oh.
He's like, oh, that's the usual every year.
I got rid of the desk because I don't want you guys doing it.
So wait, I'm surprised. I thought you were a media arts major.
Oh, funny story.
Yeah.
You
I want to know about this.
Okay, so like my first semester here, I was media arts, but I was pretty much like, history sounds pretty rad.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got here, The thing with like, of course, I went to a really small high school. We didn't have like a lot of you guys. You guys might have had it. I know a lot of people do. You have a student run like announcements.
Yeah.
Or like a newsroom
we
or
had
something
similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't. We didn't have we didn't film around with cameras or anything. That just didn't happen because we were very poor. A lot of our money went to sports.
Yeah.
Band even. So like.
The same thing happened.
Yeah, same thing happened to us too. Like all of our like budget would just go to sports and band, and it's like give us something.
We had to make things ourselves.
Because like I played football too, and I can vie for like the importance of that too.
Yeah.
Because no offense to like anything, because art and majors and all is very important, but the football team is what represents better. Does that make sense? Because
definitely.
Texas.
Oh yeah, like because you're going to games, people are coming to that. That's where you get most of your revenue.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So when people are spending more money at football games, they're gonna definitely want to put more money into it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
And new money will be donating too. And stuff like that.
And like FFA even too. It takes a lot of money to do FFA. But anyway, that's kind of off point. But so when I first got here, I didn't know anything. And media arts is really it's cutthroat in a lot of ways. It's very competitive. A lot of people aren't here to help you. They're here to be like, here's how you do this. Here's how you work this camera. Figure it out. And that's kind of like what I was told and got the vibe of. It's very cliquey. You have to kind of join your group of people. And I don't know. I wasn't really about it. Especially because like I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Like I can watch a movie. I'm like, the script was weak or the camera angles were weird. But when you don't know like the really basic technical stuff to that, you can't go far here.
I agree with that. But like apparently like here at UNT they're like here at UCLA.
Go Bruins.
Where's the eagle? It's up there.
We usually have an eagle. We just keep.
No, like what I've been told and what I was told at orientation before like freshman year and stuff is you can come into media arts and we'll teach you. You don't have to have any prior experience. And I'm like, that's kind of bullshit. It's like if you don't have any prior experience, it's like
it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be way more difficult. And it's like if you don't come with if you just pick media arts and you're like I have no experience doing this blah blah, you're gonna be discouraged immediately.
Definitely.
Because every film like 98% of the film majors here are like I used to do all this stuff in high school.
And I think because if you look at it, it's like a really high competitive.
It's a field. Yeah, it's a very.
Everyone's so critical of your work, and like honestly, I'm like that too. I watch something like that like student made, and I'm like, oh wow, they forgot to do this, they forgot to do that.
And like
I fucking suck.
I know.
Well, like you have to because like that's how you learn. That's how you like even in like pretty much in anything really. Like if I write a history paper. And they're critical of that. Well, that's stuff I need to work on. That's stuff I need to improve on.
Oh, you need to help me with that because I didn't get to do that this semester.
Really?
Yeah.
History papers are easy. I'll totally catch you up on it. Later. But going back to media arts, this media arts is definitely a major where they expect you to kind of hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Because when I first got here, they were like, well, what kind of like news, media arts things were you in high school? I wasn't in anything, So it was really like this. Oh no, what do I do? Like, and at that point, like it was pretty obvious for me that like I wasn't gonna make it far. Like it was time for me to go ahead and switch majors, which I'm glad. I don't think twice about it. Which like if I do filmmaking, it'll be on the side. It'll be for fun.
Yeah.
But like for a competitive major, it has to be that way. So just to be so far behind, there was just no chance for me to pick up. So
I get that.
Yeah. I don't know if you were expecting a funny, wacky, but it was really weird because I was with like the mentees and I did awesome stuff. I did awesome like to make sure I wanted to stay, not leave or whatever. And shout out to those guys. Those guys are awesome. But I just had to do. And the ladies were there. The girls were there.
I was actually meant to get in this room.
Did you guys hear anything? Because I don't think I heard it.
What was that?
Oh no, the camera is dying. No.
But
I mean,
But just history's fun.
Wait, so what's your reasoning behind going with history rather than like there's a bunch of majors, right?
Well, first off, I like history like a lot. It's really interesting. To me, it comes by really easy. I think because like every history paper you're writing, you're basically saying, oh, this is what happened, and this is where I put my little spin to it, and there you go. And then people will be like, well, history is always changing too, you know?
Yeah.
Like we're always learning new things. We're always, you know, because that's what history majors do. You publish a paper and then you're like, well, I don't believe this, and you argue with each other. That's just what history people do. And I feel like it's definitely a lot more collaborative. You definitely have people that work together a lot more.
It's not really that competitive in this sense.
It's not. It's not. And, and honestly, like with any like English, you know, English even, maybe I think science is pretty.
Science is pretty competitive.
Yeah,
It's pretty competitive.
Yeah.
But history is not so much because you respect each other in that sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
What do you hope to do with it?
A professor eventually.
Professor?
Unless you try to deny the Holocaust, then.
Yeah, it's really weird, you know, a man on a podcast being like, well, I'd like to be a professor. You know, do some grad school. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But, you know, one step at a time, and right now I'm looking to teach. So, you know, teaching high
I
school
actually was
kids.
thinking that too, because my story behind why I choose to do double major was because I had a really good professor who just went to grad school and then got like the kind of job to do it
Like,
for the first intro, U.S. history till
Right.
1865, and he was really good, and he would do the ID system and the essays, and it just got me really interested. What he was like when he's lecturing, I was just like, I love this. I want to be in this and do things. And
History professors just really, they're awesome characters. They really have a knack for things. Like my Texas history class is really interesting because we are taught all these things in middle school, like, oh, you know, we're heroes, we're great. SFA wasn't a completely slimy guy. You take that course in college and you're like, wow, SFA was a completely slimy guy. Like he's honestly like not a great. Well, I don't want to say.
Stephen F. Austin, you saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like he's a bad person because he's a product of his time, you know.
Yeah.
But we look at Sam Houston's like, yeah, the guy who led the army of Texas.
Sam Houston was like a time like he was like born here, but
like oh yeah, like,
that's
he left when he could, but he the thing with Sam Houston is we're like, oh man, the war hero. He actually quit the Texas Army because he had no control of it, and he was like, I'm not gonna stay here. So during that battle where where the name's blanking on me, where they beat Santa Ana,
San
Jacinto,
yeah,
the Battle of San Jacinto. What happened is when his army got over the hill, and this was all because Santa Ana was stupid. He had a great military mind, completely stupid idea. He broke up his army in half and took the lighter portion. I was like, we're just gonna chill here. Horrible idea.
They're not going to attack us.
Because literally, had he kept the army together, because he split it for the fact that he could. The only reason he kept it together was he's like, oh, you know, they're not going to attack us. And then, like, he gave Texas, like, the advantage or whatever. So when they went over the hill and started shooting at Mexico didn't expect it, of course, and they were running around. And Sam Houston said, stop, wait for everybody to back you up. And they said, no. And they just ran through. and because of that, like, they won. It was the one time in history where people didn't listen to like their commander or general, and they won. And I think the battle was like 17 or 19 minutes.
18 minutes.
18 minutes. I was right in the middle. I like to think somebody had a stopwatch and was like, oh, wow. I was like, what do you know? I was like well, that was easy. And then he became president. Okay, so fun fact: when Sam Houston became president of Texas, one of the first things he did is he dressed himself up like George Washington, wig and everything, just went all out, being like, I'm going to lead this country the best I can. And I like to think just everybody there was like, yeah, man, totally. Like, props to you, dude. Like, what? Great. You're running our country. Republic. Texas is weird. Texas is really weird, but it's definitely a fun course, and anybody here at UCLA should totally take it. It's a really good course. It's really good. It's a lot of fun.
I'll probably end up taking it in the fall.
Yeah.
We need to collab on that. We need to like take Sam on classes.
We do. You should be in my women's history course.
When does it go? What's the days?
What are because next semester I'm taking only Tuesday and Thursday classes. I think it's at 8:30 or 9:30 in the morning.
I didn't think you could do that, but I'll be taking 15 hours and 3 history courses.
Jeez, what all history courses are you taking?
I'm taking like the second half after the 16th century.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then the Napoleonic. And then I could probably take.
Look,
history.
man, I love history, but three history classes. 3 history classes a lot.
I feel like you're gonna have like a lot of freaking like papers
Oh yeah.
for that.
See,
You're gonna get like pretty.
For Napoleonic, definitely.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be like, oh no.
Wait, so you're
No,
gonna
like-
you're gonna be doing like history classes, but what about your film stuff?
I don't have the GPA yet. I don't have 2.7.
Oh, you have to. If you're trying to bring that up with history, I have news for you. I have this.
I know I've been doing well. Like I haven't been studying, but I've been getting like solid. Oh, and then again, it's like the intro classes.
Yeah, the intro classes
yeah.
aren't very hard.
Yeah.
One
I
thing-
took the intro history stuff, so
Yeah.
One thing I always tell people, really important if you're taking a history course, if you put the exact date and you're wrong, that's going to be counted against you. If you put, early 1910s and 1920s, and it's right, they're not going to count you against that. So I always tell people, definitely don't get too specific and be wrong. Totally just be kind of right, be in that area, and they can't hold that against you. You know?
Yeah, that happened to me like this semester. Like we had an ID system for
Yeah.
the tests, and one of the tests I was like, I don't remember, so I'm gonna say it's around 1300, like 1310 ish.
The only time that doesn't work is like if it's a treaty with like 1938.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that. Like definitely remember that.
Yeah.
But like anything else really just like I said, be safe and sorry.
Get the decade.
Yeah. If you got the decade, you're set.
yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Do history, kids. You won't be writing a 10-page paper due Thursday.
I think we should talk about Rowland's gato.
My gato?
Gato.
Mi negro gato. He is a black cat. He is completely black.
Oh,
Hoodie.
Hootie, yeah.
Man, the cat.
I haven't met the kid.
You haven't? I thought you're
we
allergic.
all
right?
haven't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I
No
know.
way, really?
Okay.
You haven't.
You
either.
haven't met
You camel.
that- that woman.
That
hasn't
woman,
met-
oh my God.
That hasn't met the cat either. We're getting really sexist up in here.
I think you need to wear a scarf and some gloves.
But
Oh no! Oh, no.
oh, she's leaving us.
Oh no! Oh no!
We have fun here.
we
We
had
we had a good visual going.
We can talk about it. But so with Hoodie, his name's Hoodie, short for Hood Rat.
the rat totally.
That boy, he's a little punk, but he's my little punk, so I can put up with him. But Hoodie does have this weird thing where he loves the toilet. Like I guess he likes watching it flush. So every time, I'm taking the number 2, he's looking at me, and he's got those beady eyes, and I'm like, I know. So after I get up, I don't flush yet. I have to stand up. He has to. I'm not even kidding. I have a lot of pictures of. He gets on the top of the seat and looks down and then watches as it flush. He just has this weird.
What?
He has this weird look for the toilet. I can't explain it. Like obviously I can't film it because it's still in there. So he's just chilling on the toilet seat waiting for me to flush it. But Hoodie does have a superpower. I call it his superpower. That boy's poops smell so god awful. like I'll be walking in from the apartment, and my room is the farthest corner. I couldn't smell it the moment I close the door, and I'm like, oh my god, because he doesn't cover it up well, so I have to cover it up for him sometimes, and it's just this weird. That boy poops a lot. I've never seen a cat poop more than him. So I have a newfound respect for anybody that owns a cat, but 10 times better than owning a dog, because that's a lot of work.
Oh, okay.
Dogs demand attention.
Yeah. Well,
I'm in all seriousness, I have a lot of dogs and I like dogs, but
cats just lay around.
yeah, you have to take a dog out to the park.
Yeah.
You have to take it outside. You have to train it, and working a job, and then which you don't know about, obviously. And I'm doing college.
Okay.
Random question: have you ever talked about the day you worked at Smoothie King for a literal week?
Oh my fucking.
They do
Have you?
No, they literally told me that they fought, that they had to get rid of you because you were too slow.
Okay.
Oh,
I was still top 5.
Okay.
Well, it's because you sold 12 smoothies.
Okay.
I don't want to back up the story, but I'm good friends with one of your coworkers who's, I won't say her name, but you went to high school with her. So
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I asked her why'd you fire my boy Ben, and she's like, well, he was a little slow.
Really?
Yes, that's what she said. She said verbatim. She's like, he was a little slow, and
I mean,
He's
I
like-
haven't
he's like-
worked since 2014, so it was
3 years. It's been 3 years. Did you ever get a paycheck for the days you worked?
yeah.
Which was it?
Like $256.
Whoa!
Yeah.
How long did you? I thought you only worked there a week.
Yeah, but I worked like most of the
Yeah, but Ben was just holding up business the whole time.
I can't.
Ben's like, I don't even have an excuse. I'm just slow.
I know I'm slow, but I mean, I know if they gave me more time, I would have gotten it there. I'm just saying.
I think what we should do is we should save this like work conversations, our experiences at a job, and totally make another episode about this, focused on bad dates and bad work experiences. Because as we can tell, we have a story with Ben's.
I mean, I think we should do that. I think we should do like bad dates and work stories.
We could record it at her apartment.
Right now?
Like afterwards?
That's right.
I mean, if you
I mean,
have
like,
stuff to do.
I've got nothing better to do.
You need to go like.
Yeah, I need to go lay down. I'm
Never
like
mind.
the reason I've been like dead this whole time is because I'm like not feeling it.
Yeah, I was like, wow, Car's really quiet.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I thought I was over talking.
No. I'm just sitting here like I'm trying not to die.
You're over here.
Because my band we were rehearsing out in the cold for 2 hours. So
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
before this.
yeah.
I was already like dead, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be so fucking dead doing the podcast.
I was thinking in the back of your mind, you're like, oh my god. I
You
got
know-
the
Yeah,
podcast.
I'm just like singing my song just in my head, just wanting
Are
to
you
die.
are you free Thursday
I'm free after 6.
after 6?
I'm
Let's,
also free after 6.
Dude,
let's do it.
Alright.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, the return of the guest appearance.
all right.
Can it be reoccurring? I don't know. Like, should I
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
title?
definitely. Yeah.
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Reoccurring.
This
No.
is really enjoyable. Though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys had me on.
We do have to have.
Yeah, we have to wrap it up.
We do
right
have to
now,
wrap this
so
up. But like,
We're gonna
Yeah.
get kicked out of this room.
we will
soon.
totally talk more about my cat next time we're here.
Yeah.
Um,
it's
Rope
really
Tree,
enjoyable.
right?
Yeah,
Rope Tree
Rope Tree
podcast.
Protection.
Do you guys have merch coming out?
I actually have some designs in mind. I haven't.
Well,
like,
let's get an
talked.
audience first.
No, let's just do it. And, like,
I know you're here, people.
I know you're here.
Speak to me.
Where are you?
I've been waiting for you.
We're not like the thousands of other college podcasts being filmed right now. We're better than those.
I'm better than you.
Who wants to listen to a podcast from UNT? We're the University of California, Los Angeles. Otherwise, UCLA for short. We have the best podcasts out here.
Berkeley.
My cousin goes to North Texas, so don't forget the shirt for those watching. But this has been a lot of fun. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was really great to have you here.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Let's do this.
Thursday.
Awesome.
All right, you want to sign off?
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like and share this podcast if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more. And yeah, take care.
See y'all later.
Later, skaters.
That.
God damn it, Ben. Come back and sit down.